back in the shop with the Grizzly 600. We're going to be diagnosing today, hopefully fixing her up and getting her running tip-top. Now what I'm going to start with first is taking off all the plastics. First we'll take the seat right off. So we got 4 bolts right here. There's probably one down there. We may have to take the rack off. We got 4 bolts. Take that all off just to get down to the motor where we need to check for spark. That's going to be step 1. First, before we do anything, I'm going to try to start it. Just in case there's some weird fluke, I imagine it's not going to start, but let's just try it at least. We'll go full choke on. The reason I took the gas cap off was just to make sure we don't have any vent issues. Throttle. You okay, little guy? This must be for the winch, but anyway, it wasn't starting, so I'm going to take the battery off, put it on the charger just to make sure when we go to start it next, we got full power on our battery here. And while I'm taking these plastics off, friends, if you want to enter in to win this thing, all you gotta do, all I'm asking, is for you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below, and that's it. That'll get you a free entry to win this thing. Alright, so there's step 1. Like I was saying before, friends, if you really want to help me out, I also have a Patreon, and every dollar on there is going to get you another entry. Oh, man, that's rugged. Woo! So if you want to check that out, it really would help me out a lot. I'm actually losing quite a bit of money on these giveaways so far because they haven't quite taken off. Last I checked, I was down about 850 bucks between the sled and this. Oh, there we go. So help me out, guys. Like the video, comment down below, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And we've come across our first challenge here. We have a bolt that is stripped around. It's like a circle. So I got my handy dandy vice grips, the #1 tool you need for any job. And I'm gonna have to give it the old boot because I'm afraid to bash my hands in there. So, oh, shh. No freaking way, man. And we got it. We're naked. And now we've got a bare bones front end, and that gives us easier access to our plug that is right there. I took the plug cap off already, but I'm just gonna take the gas tank off. We're probably gonna have to do that anyway to get to the carb, so that'll give me a little bit more access to the spark plug. I was noticing the Petcock there looks a little bit grimy. Looks like the stock one, so maybe there's some issues with that. We can also check out the carbs here. I don't know enough about these to know if this is the stock carb. It doesn't look stock, honestly. It looks kind of Chinesium. But once I get that off, I'll be able to tell more. She said she replaced the air box and the air filter, I think she said last year. So, hopefully no mice in there. Oh yeah, so much easier. Look at that. And there we have it. Sure does look new. As far as reading a plug, it doesn't look like it was actually firing with this one. But now, with the help from our newly charged friend, we can check for spark. I got this propped up just against that bolt right there. I'm going to set the tripod down and give her some turnovers and see if we get anything blue. And tell me what you see. Let's check the footage. Back at you, day 2, working on the Grizzly. Last thing we checked, I believe, was the spark. I did a compression test on it as well. So if we know we have spark and compression, that leads me to believe that we have a fuel delivery issue. What I'm going to test right now, real quick, just because I'm curious, is we're going to drop a little bit of gasoline down the cylinder and turn her over. And if she fires on that, again, most likely we have a carburetor or fuel line issue. Just a little bit, just to see what'll happen. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fuel issue. And there we go. So we do have some gasoline resting in there. Let's kind of see what it looks like here. Doesn't look bad, doesn't smell too bad right now. Taking a look at our carb here, the first thing I noticed when I took it off was this idle adjustment screw right here. This cable is all twisted up and it actually won't even move whatsoever. So that could be an issue for when it's running and why it doesn't stay running maybe. So that's one issue. We can get that fixed up. We actually might even, let's check our old carburetor here. We do have one on the old carburetor, but does that one work? Cable looks good. Another thing I wanted to look at is this, the stock. Okay, so this is the stock Mikuni. This is an aftermarket carburetor. The story I'm seeing so far is they had an issue with the stock carburetor. They tried some new jetting, that wasn't working, so they said, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a new carburetor, aftermarket. They put that in there, still having issues. So that kind of leads me to believe it's not the carburetor's fault, but maybe something in the fuel lines, or it could even be as little as this filter, or it could be the petcock on our gas tank. So we're gonna clean the carburetor anyway, but there's something going on. We're here in the kitchen. I'm gonna start tearing this thing apart. First I want to check out this fuel line and this filter that's on here. Boom. Wow. That is flawless. That looks super clean as well. It's got the appropriate seat there. There's no gas in the float, so they're not cracked. That looks good to me. Did not find a single thing wrong with this carburetor. I tore it all apart, sprayed it down with carb cleaner and compressed air, the whole nine. Not a single thing came out of it. This fuel filter is also not one you can take apart, so I just cleaned it really good with carb cleaner and shot it with compressed air. And then I changed out the hydraulic lines for normal fuel lines, and we'll be able to see the fuel going through if it's actually working correctly. So what we know now in this video is it's still starving for fuel. If we clean the carburetor, I'm pretty confident it's not the carburetor, so it's either that fuel filter or that petcock. And once we put the tank back on, we'll be able to see if the fuel goes through the fuel filter enough, and if it does, then likely it's our petcock that has some sort of blockage. So I'm just gonna drain the tank so we can get to our petcock. I'm gonna open it up, see if there's anything visibly wrong with it. It could just be plugged, for all I know, but normally it's just easier to replace them. Since I don't have one, we're gonna crack it open. Alright. Alright, while we're doing this, I'm gonna say it again. All you gotta do to enter in to win this thing is drop your comment down below. That's it. That's all you gotta do. If you wanna support me even further, you can check out my Patreon, and every comment on there is also gonna be a ticket. There's a little face. Hold up a second. You guys seeing this? Let me focus the camera. I think that stuff just came out of there. I'm pretty sure, because when I cleaned the carburetor, I obviously didn't have anything in there, but look at that. It's like a bunch of sand and rocks and stuff. I think we got a plugged petcock. All right, gas tank back on, threw some gasoline in it. Let's turn our fuel on. And you can see actually, the gas flowing through. Moment of truth, let's give her a shot. See what happens here. Whoa! What the heck? What? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? What the heck? Let's leave it choke on for now. This thing's running, man. This thing's freaking running! Are you kidding me? What the heck? Okay, so she wants some choke, but man, it's running. Fires right up. I'm gonna leave the choke on for a bit, get the cobwebs out, but okay, so she still wants some choke, but we got it running! We're gonna have to call it quits for a little bit because I was just moving the tank around and I unplugged the fuel line on accident and spilled it everywhere. It's just a freaking mess. So, gonna wait for that to dry out before we keep moving. But what I'm doing now is just adjusting the idle and adjusting the throttle cable. I got it tuned up. It's idling great right now, but I did notice we got a small leak by the petcock. So I think I'm gonna buy one of these, just throw a new one on. But so far, she's running good. Choke is off. We got it. I turned 21 to prison, got a new petcock for the grizz. You saw how I took the old one off, so it's gonna be the same way putting the new one back on, so I'll save some footage there. But look at this, I also got in the mail a hay bike, e-bike, unboxing, building, riding, coming soon, let's go. And why not, I'll do a little unboxing here. Got our gaskets, got, looks like a replacement filter there, unless I need to, nope, I need to put it on there, I guess. Okay, there it is. Brand spanking new. Should do the job. Out with the old. In with the new. This one moves so much easier. I think the other one is getting bound up a little bit inside. Now while we have the tank out, I'm going to put some fresh gas in it and swish it around and dump it out. Just to make sure if there was some sand in there, we get all of that out. You probably can't see the bucket. Not just dumping it on the ground. Doing life without parole. And she lives again. Running beautifully. Again, I warmed it up. Had choke on. Choke's off right now. Idling perfect. Woo! All right, folks. I got it all put back together again. I didn't go through the whole thing because if we have some troubles, I don't want to have to take everything apart again. So it's kind of just barely on there, but we're going to take our first rip. It is official. This thing is running well, and let's just run it through the paces now and see if she actually rides well. Whoops. Oh, this is exciting. Here goes nothing. See if she shifts. Okay, so that's high. Oh, make sure I'm not gonna run over anything. We're moving. They got flat tires? No. Tires are good. Okay. Oh, we're moving. I don't have too much land to mess around with, but this will do the job. I can already tell I gotta adjust the throttle a little bit. It's a little bit sticky, but we're moving. I have 0 brakes in the front. Absolutely squishy. Whoa! All right. We got some steering issues here. I don't know if that's just the pressure in the tires or what. Once I got some speed there, I was really squirrely. But I can't believe this thing is actually running. That was such an easy fix too. Oh, I'm so excited. Oops, don't want to run over my plants. See if the reverse works. Our lights are even working. This is unbelievable. Uh-oh. Oh, that was close. Definitely have to adjust the throttle. Can I make it in the back lawn here? Oh yeah. Maybe not. Oh yeah. Oh, this is good. This is so good. So it's official. This thing is running. Tip top. It was just a Petcock full of sand and rocks. Alright guys, we got it running. I'm going to put it all back together again. Stay tuned for a riding video on this thing.